How well behaved you are. Maybe I don't need this. What do you think? The music tonight, as many of you know, is somewhat quiet, and to not encourage a loud, booming microphone sort of breaking the vibe, I'm pretty sure Scott is going to talk about the songs without the microphone, so enjoy it while it lasts. My name's Adam Simon. I'm the music director here at Edwards Church, and Edwards Church has this wonderful concert program, which you're all at right now, called Music at the Crossroads, and the Edwards Church fully funds paying wonderful musicians like Blue Heron, but also all sorts of other styles of music, to come and give a totally free concert where 100% of the donations go to different nonprofits and beneficiaries, mostly in the Valley, I think entirely local nonprofits. Tonight is all the donations are going to Pioneer Valley, Community Action Pioneer Valley, to the fuel assistance program, which is especially needed this brutal winter. So thank you so much for your donations. It's really appreciated. If you didn't get a chance, there are baskets at the door, there's one in the middle, and there's a QR code posted at those places. There also was a big QR code there, and I think it's going to come back at the end of the concert if you need to snap a picture with your phone. I just wanted to draw your attention to one on the pews. We didn't have enough for everyone, but on the pews, there were about 4 of these little leaflets, and I just wanted to draw attention to one of the next concerts we're doing here at Edwards Church. It's on March 22nd, Saturday, at 7 p.m., and it's a group from Philadelphia called Chivalrous Crickets. They're a fantastic sort of folk, early music crossover group, and they're doing a Baroque folk opera on the story of Barbara Allen. And it's really, they're fantastic people, Chivalrous Crickets. Look them up and come back for that. There's also a dance workshop that same day at 5:30. Folk singing and folk dance workshop. So, to talk a little bit about the Fuel Assistance Program, Community Action Pioneer Valley, here is Laura Frogamini. And before she does, please turn off your cell phones. The concert will be one set, about an hour and a quarter. And thanks again for coming.
Thank you. I'm Laura Frogamini. I'm a music team member here at Edwards Church, and I'm also the preschool coordinator for the Northampton Public Schools. And as one of the folks that works in the public schools, we work specifically with families in my department, 0 to 6, and I work closely with the social workers who work with all the way up to children who are 22 years old. One of the things that we strive to do is to connect family to the resources that will support their stability. So whether we're enrolling folks in the child care voucher program, working to provide them with their services for special education, but also that home heat and warmth. So we regularly connect folks to Community Action for their Fuel Assistance Fund, and I am a former Fuel Assistance Fund person. So back when my husband is a sound engineer, so works in the theater, and I was staying home with the kids, Fuel Assistance made an enormous difference for my family, and I'm super proud to be connecting families through our work at the public schools so that they can stay warm in the winter. So thank you for your donations. You make an enormous difference.
thank you and welcome to the weird and slightly druggy world of the late 14th century, a time when we read on the internet that opium may have been sampled in Europe. And we come back to this theme later, but it's a time when there was a great amount of experimentation in composition, and it takes this form of sort of disorienting your sense of rhythm and disorienting your sense of harmony. Everything actually is correct, but they don't line up. So I'll end up at a harmony and the next person will just delay a bit or have gotten there a little bit earlier. And the same thing happens with the rhythms. There's play of 2 against 3 and 3 against 4 and 3s against them. It's all very swimmy and jazzy, hopefully, and not simply making you feel slightly queasy. It should make it's dreamy, I think. And if it's baffling on the first time through, you often have a chance to hear it more than once because all of these song forms are refrain forms of some kind, and some of them have many numbers of stanzas. The ballades, such as De Toute Fleur that Sophie just sang, 3 stanzas is the normal form, so you'll have the opportunity to hear the material more than once. Perhaps by the 6th time of the repeat, it will begin to feel less novel than it did the first time. We're very happy to be joined this evening by Corey Hart. He is in your program, but he joined us only Wednesday morning, substituting for Heron.
Ce rôle léger vous enlevez pour consolation de jouer en espérance d'avoir mieux sans que vous désirez le mieux. Le Dieu d'amour, si vous le trouvez, il vous endoigne parfaite jouée, en accroissant de bien en mieux, à ce moins présent gracieux. Le Dieu d'amour, si vous le trouvez, il vous endoigne parfaite jouée. pour faire de Lazare viveux, qui les âmes font partir, pour l'amour qui a comme jaillit de l'amour départe. Car parmi la belle
We'd like to say a little bit about the instruments we're using. Our voices are copies made of DNA, which reaches back centuries, and we feel that they're quite accurate representations of 14th century singers. Our instruments, however, were mostly made in the 20th and 21st centuries. Yeah, this is around the same time, well, a little bit later than the voices, but, and they are all copies based on speculation of one kind or another.
I have a lot of tubes with holes with me today. This is one kind of tube with a hole. I don't know, I always think they look like toilet paper rolls of one size or another, which is interesting because of the few medieval recorders that we have. Several of them were found in latrines, which is perhaps why accounts for why they are so relatively well preserved. But it's true. But these recorders actually are modeled after what we know about medieval recorders, and the style and the shape of the board changed in the Renaissance and into the Baroque era. But in the medieval era, they were cylinders. And this cylindrical board gives it a very special and very indirect and sort of dusty sound. I have three here, as you can see, in different sizes, 2 different altos and a tenor. The other 2 instruments that you've heard me play already are double reed instruments. So they have a reed that goes in the top. And one might think that they are related to the oboe, but this is not really true. And that's partially because they also have cylindrical bores. And you can see that bore is tiny. It's actually much smaller than the recorders. And they also have teeny, teeny, tiny tone holes, the holes that I put my fingers on. And this is partly what accounts for their very low pitch, or the very low sounding pitch. This is really a tenor instrument, and when you think that a bassoon is like 3 or 4 times as long as this to get some of the same notes, it's kind of interesting. So what is really quite remarkable is the cylindrical bore, and this was a mystery instrument for many years. It's called a doucen. It was referred to in literature and even described, but it was difficult to tell sometimes in paintings what was a doucen and say what was a sham or even a recorder. And it wasn't until, believe it or not, speaking of the 20th century, 1984, when the Mary Rose, which was a battleship of Henry VIII that had sunk in the English Channel, that was exhumed in 1984. And it happened that on that ship, there had been a chest full of instruments. There was a vielle inside, there were many little pipes, and there was some kind of double reed instrument with a cylindrical bore and 9 finger holes, which is really quite strange also for me to have a hole for every finger in my left hand. And this was the first doucen that anyone had ever seen. And so these instruments are modeled after that one surviving piece that came up out of the English Channel. And yeah, that was in pieces also. The name of it, doucen, is of course comes from the French douce or doux, which means sweet or also soft. The English had another name for this instrument. They called it a still sham, which is to say a very quiet sham, which is kind of what it is. And I find it very compelling in this particular repertoire.
The fiddle, which you heard, this is also an instrument of which we have no extant examples. And so some of it's conjecture, but if you know those angels which appear on Christmas cards painted by Hans Memling, there's a row of them playing a whole number of instruments. The instrument here is very, very similar to that fiddle, down to the little decoration, the checkerboards in the corners. It's a 5-string instrument, usually tuning we don't really know about, it's kind of made up, and it's strung in plain gut. And the bow is really a lot more like a bow than the modern copy. It's just a bent piece of, in this case, European pear wood, strung with horsehair. The harp is also one of those angelic instruments, but maybe sounding a little less angelic than you imagined. And the reason is these pins down at the bottom each have a little wedge on the head it comes to a sort of angle, and the string, when you pluck it, buzzes against that angle. And it gives it a sort of snarly or snappy quality, which is the characteristic of the medieval harp and of many medieval instruments, that they have a kind of buzzy and slightly nasal quality, which is desirable.
Which brings us to the lute. This instrument is, well, the lute basically came from the Arabic instrument, the oud, which literally actually means wood. And also the name of the instrument actually derives from the name oud, il oud in Arabic, then laud in Spanish, lute in English, liuto in Italian. And the oud came to Europe basically through the Crusades. That was one path. And another path was from North Africa to Spain, where a king of Aragon invited a very famous oud player to play in his court, and then developed kind of slowly as a European instrument. And there are many, many different types of lutes that, you know, throughout the Middle Ages, Renaissance, and Baroque era. And while the oud until today is still played with a plectrum, the lute was only played with a plectrum in the Middle Ages, and later on, you know, at that time it was used as a melodic instrument, as you've heard it today. But later on, it was developed more as a harmonic and polyphonic instrument, and people played it more with their fingers. The next piece is actually a short interpolation that I made of originally a vocal piece, and so I will be playing it polyphonically with fingers. And since it was originally a vocal piece, it had a poem to it as well, and the title was Fume Fume Parfumé. And as many pieces in this program, it comes from a circle of bohemians, artists, poets, and composers who played around a lot with wordplay and very, very intellectual kind of poetry and music, and probably also different substances. And so also the name of the next song, Fume Fume Parfumé, alludes a little bit perhaps to the smokiness of it, and you will hear it still in the harmonic structure. Thank you.
that this next song, the score is in the front of your program, and you can follow along on the very first page, on the cover. The cover.
Our last set, in fact, the whole program is a sort of anticipatory program. A lot of these songs are about spring and this wonderful present month we're in, which is, I think they did not have February in Massachusetts in mind when this poem was wrote. They're thinking about April and May when the branches are flowering and the birds are singing. And that's all wonderful, but in medieval France, the birds do not always bring you good news. And in our last song features a nightingale, the rossignol. And a rossignol in medieval French sings, oddly, aussi, 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 aussi. And aussi is the past participle of the verb osir, as in homicide, as in to kill. So the nightingale is often, in this song it says, go tell my lady, aussi, that she has killed me if she does not grant me her favor. Meanwhile, of course, the cuckoo is also there in one corner, and he sings, cuckoo, 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 which is the past tense of the verb to cuckold in French. There's a lark involved as well, an alouette, who is not getting plucked here, but is singing lire, 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 liron. And all of this you may or may not be able to follow because it goes along very quickly, but Jason sings the refrain here, which goes over and over and over again, and this gives you a hint, because the rossignol in the beautiful woods, done it. Oh, you give to the poor peasant a very bad morning and then death.
Rossignole giboe joli, donnes en vilain le mal matin, et puis la mort. Rossignole giboe joli, donnes en vilain le mal matin, Allah, Allah, Allah.